Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a big water. It's a lot of water. Water good.
About half full.
Well, put water in cup. Water become cup.
Are you a half empty or half full kind of guy?
I'm welcome back to the Lousy Show.
Hey,
I'm Joe.
I'm Joe.
You know what? Welcome back, Lousy listeners.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be there.
Probably blew away when we were calling in the drone strike.
Hell divers to your hell pods. Welcome back. I hope everyone's having a lovely week, being Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Hopefully it's not the most Mondayest Tuesday you've ever had.
A lot of good things happening on Tuesdays. Usually. It's Taco Tuesday.
Litty Titty Tuesday.
Litty Titty Tuesday. It's not Monday. So
Valid.
A lot of good stuff.
You know, I'm gonna be real though. I think Mondays get a lot of hate, kind of like Nickelback did, for no reason. Mondays aren't bad days. If you wake up feeling refreshed, if you get some sleep the night before, you wake up feeling refreshed on Monday, you fucking tackle the world. Mondays are some of my most productive days.
I mean, I'm sure.
I get a lot of stuff done for this show.
For me, it's the start of another 5 days.
Same.
Of work.
Same. We both work Monday through Friday.
Which I don't like.
Well, that's it. Okay, see that? You have a problem with work, not Monday.
I'm not just Garfield just hating Mondays for the sake of hating Mondays.
Yeah, you have an exterior problem that has nothing to do with the days of the week, but more so your hatred for people. And let's talk about that.
I mean, I do relate to Garfield a good bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I hate Mondays. I like
you love spaghetti?
I love it's lasagna. First off,
oh, it is lasagna.
Get yourself cultured, okay? Fucking this guy. Anyway,
you know, I'm probably gonna get cooked by the comments for that one too. So.
Got a little bit of red hair, you know. So
I align myself with more of a Popeye.
The Sailor Man?
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, if you really think about it, I love spinach. Love spinach.
It's not exactly the first trait that I'd put down for you.
and he's always horny. Anyway, so let's go. If you think about it, he's always wanted his woman. He's like, hey, baby, how you doing? Come
on. Sure.
Think about it.
I guess.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
You made it weird. You started the weird.
How? Am I saying I like spinach?
No, the other thing.
What other thing, Sam?
The other thing.
Anyways, has nothing to do with our topic today.
Nope.
As a matter of fact, our topic might be a little more emotional. And
it's a sad day.
It's been a long day. But thank you again for everybody who is here. The Lousy listeners, thank you for coming back and hanging out with us. Thank you to the Lousy members as well. And make sure to subscribe. Become a Lousy listener yourself.
Yep.
We're rapidly approaching 1K, and we greatly appreciate that. So let's keep that train rolling and keep on trucking towards Tier 2 YouTube partner. Y'all make this. Y'all making this dream come true. So thank you so much for that. Now, that's actually going to roll us right into our topic.
Yep.
Because especially y'all who have been here since the beginning, you've grown accustomed to this, to our set. Sam?
Yes.
Tell them.
This set will be no more.
Yep.
I mean, it's not, show's still going on. Let me just preface everything by saying we're not stopping. We're just moving. Both you and I are moving just to two very different places. So
yes,
in person will be a little bit challenging, to say the least.
There might be I would likely go out and say there will be in-person episodes in the future.
Yeah.
But
like very infrequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is we are moving to different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Austin is no longer the place for us.
Nope.
So as you probably saw from the thumbnail, today's topic is about moving and our what's happening with the show, our decision on where we're going and why we're doing it. And I mean, I guess truth be told, like this kind of goes back a bit because initially when I first moved here, you had told me you were thinking about moving away. Well, long before we even came up with the thought of TLS. Yeah. And here we are. As we're recording this, you are a month and a half away. I'm
not even.
True. Not even
a month and 10 days.
Mm-hmm. And I'm right behind that.
Yep.
Well, you know, we should probably tell the people first where we're going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'll be moving. My wife and I, will be moving to the state of Washington. Mm-hmm. We've visited up there a bunch of times. Really like it. Her brother lives up there, so we have some friends and family. And then she's born and raised here in Texas. And I'd moved here from Virginia about 10 years ago. And it's a great area. It's built up a lot. I mean, Austin's exploded even in the 10 years I've been here, but it's been exploding for even longer than that. Mm-hmm. And I was potentially content on staying here, but my wife being born and raised here, I didn't want to say no to her wanting to explore either, you know? So, she had expressed some interest and I just said, well, let's fucking do it. Let's get out of here. And so we've been talking about that for 3-4 years now, something like that, about the possibility of doing it. Yeah. About 3 years really. And then, we finally just decided to make a date for it to happen. And so for the last few months, really last year, we've been working towards that. So yeah, we're moving to good old Washington. Yep. And so if any of you are out there, I'll be in your neck of the woods. Won't say where exactly, but you know, we'll get there eventually. Yeah.
I and my family will be moving to the lovely city. I'll be a little more specific. Yeah. The lovely city of Kansas City. We are moving to the good old connector of Kansas and Missouri. Mm-hmm. And main reason why, I mean, I moved here 2.5 years ago. Yeah. And I moved down here with the intent initially, I should go back a little bit. You have been trying to get me to move down here long before that. Yeah. I just had a lot of life stuff happening prior to that really stopped me from doing that. Yep. But moving down here, I was hoping to make this a permanent thing, but with what I want to do in my life, it's very difficult to do so. Yeah. To the point that was made, with Austin booming as such is the housing market too. Yeah. And I want to own my own property. I mean, point blank, you do as well. We've talked about this many times over. And financially, it's just not feasible to do here. Renting can still be done, but I don't want to rent for the rest of my life. I'm 32, and I want to get my name on some property. I want to be able to have my own thing. And so I'm in the process of doing that now. Mm-hmm. But Kansas City is also a city I've fallen in love with since visiting there. It's a beautiful city. I mean, if you haven't visited, it's absolutely gorgeous. All the areas around it, much like Austin, Kansas City, it's kind of like Austin 2.0, where it has a lot of great culturally thriving cities around it. Mm-hmm. That just kind of become Kansas City. Yeah. Much like where we live. We don't live in downtown Austin, but we live close enough to where people still, if we say, hey, we're in Austin, they're like, okay, yeah, because we live 20 minutes from downtown. Yeah. 40 on a bad day.
It depends on traffic. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. Yeah.
But Kansas City is a, like I said, beautiful city, very culturally thriving. I mean, education for my boys up there is gonna be great. Great spots up there. It's just a great place to go. Plus, being right in the middle, it's helpful to be able to travel anywhere I want to. It makes traveling so much easier. But I mean, when I fell in love with Kansas City, we saw that it was actually financially feasible for us to buy property. You and I remember we were talking a couple weeks ago about property value differences from where you're going to where I'm going.
Yeah, because it's not exactly cheap where I'm going.
Yeah. I'm currently in the process of buying a 5-bed, 3-bath house.
Yeah.
With a pool. How much do you think that would be where you're going?
700,000 easily.
Yeah, I'm buying it for 285.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like just for example there, like it's much more financially feasible to buy property in the Kansas City area. It's a very stable market right now. But, aside from that, like Austin's still home. Austin to me is going to be my home ever since I visited here. Like I feel more connected to this city than I did ever growing up where we were from.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still going to visit down here all the time, but it's not doable.
Yeah.
It's not feasible to try and attain what I want to do with its current market and state, in the state of where it's at. So.
Yeah. I mean, even beyond like the economic stuff. Cause I mean, clearly if we're looking to try to move for financially smart reasons only, I would be making a terrible decision right now. So for us, a lot of it is weather. Because actually, my wife and I love it when it's like rainy and drizzly, and I know that's the first thing a lot of people are going to say up in the comments is that, hey, it rains there a lot. Like, I know, I'm fine with that. And then, but 2, just like it's not abysmally hot like it is here.
Yeah.
During the summers. 3, the landscape there is just gorgeous. I mean, you have crazy mountains, big ass trees, and so for like lifestyle stuff, my wife and I just feel a lot more connected there. And I mean, I had spent some time on the West Coast in my early childhood. And so that was kind of not necessarily going back to my roots, but, it felt familiar. It felt right, like I remember like moving to the East Coast felt strange. And of course, over living there for 12, 13, 14 years, however long we lived there, I got accustomed to it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, because that's where I really first started kind of becoming myself was in California, technically at the time. So yeah, it feels more natural. And I'm just really excited to get to exploring. And actually, I really want to do like a lot of hiking out there, a lot of camping. All right, it's just you can do that here, of course, but pretty flat. Except for the hill country, and the hill country's nice, but I growing up where I grew up in California and then also in Virginia, I'm a mountain boy at heart. So
like here in Texas, like you can go southeast, and hit a lot of like the watering holes and like the different areas like that, and like to your point, like the rolling hill country, beautiful out there. You got the New Braunfels, lovely, beautiful out there. Like you get some beautiful areas, but like I feel you on that. And the funny part is in Kansas City, there are very flat areas, but it's not like it is here.
Yeah.
Where here you see a flat area and it looks like Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, you see in the movies, tumbleweed, fucking vulture eating something out there in the field. Whatever it may be, that's Texas, like 100% through and through. Like you can, from where we are, you could drive here and go up to like Georgetown, and the drive to Georgetown, you will 1000% see like areas just like that.
Yeah.
You go to Kansas City, the areas around it, there are flat areas, but there are also very hilly areas. There are very like there's some nice mountainous areas out there, like rolling big areas where you can really go exploring and whatnot. And just heck, there's a town there called Parkville, beautiful little town. I mean, like they have a castle out there that looks straight out of fucking Hogwarts, dude. Like it's fucking nuts. Like it's just a pretty area.
Yeah,
and. Same things like you want to go, exploring and camping. Like that's one of the things I want to be able to do. There's to the point of it being abysmally hot here. Yeah. It's very difficult to go do anything.
Can't do anything from basically May to November.
Well, that's one thing I don't know I've talked about on the show. I love going disc golfing.
Yeah.
I love disc golfing. There are great spots down here to go disc golfing. It's too fucking hot to do it.
Yeah, and then the mosquitoes are just ridiculous.
Yes. So, there's a spot out here. It's in Wilco. They call it the Beast. And it's a hell of a course. I mean, it is a great course to go play. The problem is when it's time for you to be able to go play it, it is atrociously hot. The last time I went and played it, we tried to run the full course front to back. It was 106 degrees outside. Mm-mm. We could not make it past hole 5. Even with water.
Yeah.
Like it was stupid hot. But up there, like you've got some great spots to go. You've got great places to go exploring. It's a lot of good stuff up there, and it's not hot like that all year round. Like Like here, usually I think around what, like May to like October.
Yeah.
It's hot, like hot. And there's nothing like, it's dry heat most of the time, unless it rains and it's fucking a dog breathing on you, like nasty.
It's not like 100% dry. It's a good mixture of humidity. It's like 40 to 50%. So, you know, it's like, it's comfortable ish. Those temperatures you get for like 3 weeks. Yeah. Jesus.
And then the rest is like 70s to 90s.
Yeah. I remember just the last few years, like I said, her brother lives up there. So like, well, we've got, you know, like the multiple locations you can have for weather on the weather app. And so like, it'll have our location. It's like a million fucking degrees. Fuck you. Don't go outside. And then we'll scroll over one and it's like where he lives. And then it's like, it's 80 and sunny or like, you know, a little bit of drizzle. And I'm like, that sounds fucking amazing. And so, yeah, want to get to that for sure.
So I guess what we should talk about is the future of the show as a whole.
Yeah.
To your point, like you said, the show's not going anywhere. Nope. It's not going anywhere at all. We're just going to be in 2 different locations.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if anybody, we take a lot of interest in watching like the New Heights podcast, the Kelsey brothers. Ironically enough, I'm moving to the location where one of those brothers live.
Yep. Guest appearance? Question mark.
Oh my God, dude. But like, you know, much like the New Heights podcast does, you're going to see us in two very different locations. Still the same quality, still the same fun, still the same guys, same show, just 2 different locations.
Yep.
As nice as it is to have a studio here that we put the wrench time in and built this, like it's, you know, this is our studio.
Yeah.
You know, it's not feasible for us to do when we live in 2 very different places of the country.
Yeah.
But we are still going to be able to provide, you know, the same quality podcast, the same quality asshole talk, you know, the same stuff that we're doing now, just in a different visual format.
Yeah. Plus we've got experience with remote podcasting. We were on a show previous to this that you were living in Virginia. I was living here. And so, yeah, we did it all 100% remote, and we learned a lot from that too. To where like, we know what to expect. Plus we've got the equipment upgrades now to where things will start off at a much higher level than they did previous to that. And so really it's just going to be, you know, getting a little overlay designed, but the rest of it's all pretty much there.
Literally before we started recording today, one of the things he asked me, because everybody out there who doesn't know, I'm a big like audio and video whore. Yeah. Like I am. I just love audio and video equipment. I took an interest into it like probably back in I should say this. I took an interest into it when I was playing music still alive. But in this format, in this vein of things, I didn't really take an interest into it until like 2019-ish, 2018, 2019. And actually, no, 2018. And I started very, very novice and have grown very much since then in my knowledge of like camera operation, lens quality, what lenses are needed for what, like, you know, the audio equipment, understanding how boards like this work. Like, I remember there was one day we were in here right before we started recording, and I legit was like, hang on a second. And I just deep dove this, like, just for audio purposes of going through and like peaking and tuning everything that we have here for it to sound better. Like, I just really enjoy that kind of stuff. And he asked me before we even started recording, he was like, okay, since we know we're doing this and we know this is happening, I need camera options. And so,
because I don't really care about the video part. Audio I've always been super interested in. So like, we both have really good audio setups. Yeah. The video,
we both have very good audio setups.
I just don't know anything about cameras really at all. So, because I just haven't really been much of a visual guy. I was more audio. So so we'll find a good solution for the video side for me, but you already have a really good video setup as well for streaming that you do. So.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that's just like, we want to be able to provide you all with still the best, you know, possible lousy content we can.
Yeah.
And, you know, we took into account, truth be told, if we're being honest, we were excited to do this project. We were excited for this show to become a thing. We did not anticipate it rapidly accelerating the way it did.
Yeah.
And that is a very good thing, because that is something that, you know, we see now as like, holy shit, like, we love doing this.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about when we were getting coffee earlier, like how you love editing. It's one of the things you would still enjoy doing for the show. Like, I enjoy all the back end stuff. I enjoy like, we have our loves of what we do for the show.
Yeah. And
so it's nice that it's gotten to the point where it has, where we can continue doing it. So like, even though we didn't anticipate the acceleration, we have very much appreciated it and take that into account of still like wanting to be able to produce the best possible episodes for you all. And so that's still gonna be top tier, requirement in our minds of being able to produce as good a quality content as possible. And we have some great ideas, like you're talking about with overlays and such, some great ideas that we're gonna be working with for episodes in the future. Granted, we won't be able to do, like if you saw in our last podcast episode where we were checking out all the Temu stuff, like we're not gonna be able to do that live, or rather at the same table, but that just means, hey, you know what? We'll just have to buy two of the same thing, get it shipped, and we'll try it out at the same time. It's just simple things like that where we have to pivot from where we are now to fit how we will be in just a couple months. And so
it's a minor pivot. Like really, like I said, it's just, getting used to the remote thing again.
I mean, even with the time change, I'm not even worried about that. What is that, ice? No, that's ice.
Did it come off the mixer?
It might have. Weird. No, that's ice. Even with the time change, because you're gonna be 2 hours behind me.
Yep. Yeah, because you're still central there, right?
I'll also be central.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right in the middle of the country.
A little skewed to the right, but yeah.
A little bit. Yeah,
Just
but
a
still
little bit. Yep.
won't be so close to the desert.
No.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. What's interesting there too with Washington is that half of it is basically rainforest. Like it's giant trees, super green, like white all the time. The other side of the mountains is dry as fuck.
Yep.
And it's technically a desert. Still very green and lush, but it's not like Sahara Desert or like Death Valley or anything like that, but it's much more arid climate, I guess you could say.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, I think that the mix of where we're going for each other, like it's gonna be helpful to our mentals. I mean, like as much as I love Austin to that point, like it's become an area where you don't really want to go out as much anymore.
Austin, I feel like, is great in your 20s.
Yes.
Like super fun, a lot of opportunity.
We talked about that before. I've had to go downtown a few times to go buy different furniture and whatnot.
Yeah.
To that same point, you and I both agreed, if I were in my 20s, I would have 1000% be living downtown.
Yeah.
Perfectly content. Just south of the river, probably on the opposite side of the bridges. It's beautiful. It's perfect. But
we're not 20 anymore.
Correct.
We're very much not in our 20s anymore.
Yeah. It's I feel like if I had moved down when you asked me to move down,
it would have been game over at that point.
Because when you asked me to move down initially, how old was I? I
moved out here. I was 24. No, I was 22.
You were 22.
Yep. And then you came and visited 6 to 9 months later, something like that. I can't remember exactly when it was.
So you moved down in June.
Yeah. 2014.
Correct. I joined the band shortly after that. I joined them in July. I then came down to visit the following January.
Okay, so because
it was your birthday.
Yeah, like call it 7 months or so.
Yeah.
And we had a blast. We went down to San Antonio as well.
No, it wasn't that trip.
No, that wasn't.
No,
oh, that's right.
This one was. This was the one where I just came down and like you kind of showed me the immediate area.
Yeah, because I hadn't really gotten used to it yet.
Yeah. And because remember we went to like the pool hall.
Yeah.
And most of it was just like hanging out, seeing the area, and then of course just being bros and chilling.
Yeah.
But I remember like after that is when we started exploring more. Like that's when we went to San Antonio. Yeah. That's when we were seeing downtown and like understanding like the domain and stuff like that. Like if I had moved down then. 1000%.
Yeah.
Like downtown Austin. Make no mistake, Austin's still a fantastic place to be. Like I love Austin through and through. It's just like I said earlier, to the financial point of it all.
Yeah.
right now it's just not it. Like you can go back and look at the financial like rise in housing prices and such. It's been insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I remember I went out to the hill country of Austin. It's West Austin for anybody who wants to look at a map. And I went out there because I was buying a Lego set. And I went up there. Oh my God, dude.
You feel your tax bracket.
Oh my God.
There.
So I was driving my 2012 Ford F-150 at the time. And I remember rolling up into this neighborhood and I went, I'm poor. Like I saw vehicles that I never thought I would ever see.
Yep.
But then I was looking at the houses because at one point in that area, like the houses don't look any different than ordinary houses. It's just where they're at.
You weren't in the right neighborhood then.
No, I entered that other neighborhood. I'm saying in one part of this,
it
was like those, but I was like, man, I could live up here. I opened up Zillow.
Nope. They like start at $1 million.
Oh
like,
yeah.
For like a 2-bedroom shack.
So the house I went to go buy the Lego set from was definitely a rich house. Right around the corner of that was a house. I was like, okay, that looks nice. Overlooks the hill. Pretty. It's very nice.
Oh, if you got a view.
Yeah, if you have a view, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. And I saw it was for sale. I'm like, sick. Okay. My phone said no.
Like, you just tried to click on it. It's just like, you're poor.
I open up the app and of course it shows your location and I saw the blue dot and I'm like, oh, sick. Book. 1.2 million. And I went, and the house was definitely smaller than the one I'm living in now. And I was like, oh, oh, dude, like
any of those houses, either like in the vicinity of downtown, like especially like over by like the Lake Austin area, and then anything to the west of that, like on the other side of that lake, it's ridiculous.
I want to look something up real quick.
Okay.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button while you're here and join the Lousy listeners, and also click the join button. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Lousy member where you can get some awesome perks, cool emotes, and interact with Sam and I. Also, click the link to join our Discord and have fun with all the other Lousy listeners. Let's get back to the video. All right. Let's just do this. See, I haven't gone to Zillow in a while. All right, Austin, Texas. All right, for sale. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go over. There's the hills. Let's remove the boundary.
So that'd be like in kind of Westlake Hills area.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Westlake is like, and then Barton Creek. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
hold on. Now, this is what I want to see right here. Hold up. This is. Where's it at? It's property taxes.
Could you imagine having a. That's another reason that we're moving to is while some houses are affordable, property tax out here is ridiculous. But.
Listed May 26, 2020 for $1.5 million. Listed again March 22nd, 2023, 11.95
545.9% increase in price.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having a $60,000 monthly principal payment for your mortgage, by the way? Because I don't know if you saw, like, if you go back to keep going. $61,000, $593 for the principal and interest. Property taxes monthly are $12,000.
How many of you out there are balling with 78 grand a month
and
for your house?
And if you are, sponsor us,
please. All right, let's look at a more reasonable one. 1.4 million.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
This is a nice house. I'd live here.
Yeah.
I love the front here. Front's very Texas. Oh, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Yep.
That's gorgeous. Yeah. Okay. Four bed, 4 bath.
Not 1.4 million though.
No. So 4 bed, 4 bath, 2,600 square foot, almost 2,700 square foot.
Yep.
1.4 million. Let's go scroll down here real quick. Where's it at? Oh, here we go.
It was listed for rent. So I'm assuming they spruced it up at some point. since 2011.
Hang on. Let's take into account here. I pay more than that in rent now for a house smaller than this.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know what they bought this at. Like, I really want to know. The schools are good.
Yeah, of course they are. The Booster Club probably has more of a fucking budget than our public school system did.
Facts, dude. Facts. Yeah, I want to find one that shows like the increase in value from year to year. We got a 1.75 million right here. That's nice. 6 bed, 5 bath, 4,000 square foot. Okay, 1.75 million. Here we go. Oh, this was just
they tried to sell it for a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, they try to overshoot. Yeah, a lot of these places aren't. It's weird.
Yeah, not all of them will have the.
That's
a render. No, this is a lot. This is not even. Is there a house on there?
No, these are the blueprints for the house they're building. Dog.
There's no way it's $1 million. Just no, because that's going to be eventually.
That's where it's going to be.
Yeah. Go down. I need to read this description. No, not in the photos. And I need to see the description of this listing. A unique chance to craft a remarkable living space that harmonizes with the breathtaking natural surroundings. With over an acre of land, treetop hill country views in the city of Westlake Hills with low 1.71% tax rate and inclusion in the esteemed Eanes ISD, this property offers the perfect setting for those seeking a dream build opportunity. So that's just somebody was like, hey, this is the type of house you could build right here. Buy this 1 acre lot for $1 million fucking dollars. It's empty. There's nothing on it. 1 acre.
And if that doesn't tell you what Texas is like in Austin, let's see, 1.38. That's nice. That's pretty. I'd live here. Not for 1.375 million.
No.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to see. Okay, listed for rent for $4,500. Oh my God.
Even back then in 2015.
Still expensive as fuck.
Which, I mean, that area is a very ritzy area. So, but I can kind of see 700 for that place.
I could stomach that.
Because, probably nicer furnishings, larger lot. But 1.3?
Yeah, I could stomach that. I could stomach that for sure. Oh, there's a 3D tour here. 6 bed, 7 bath, 5,000 square foot. All right, let's take a look at this real quick. Brother. Whoa. That's nice.
Oh, it better be at the price.
Look at that. There's the front door. I'm just picturing walking up to that in a robe. Flowing.
My problem with this, while yes, it's beautiful, I don't want glass as my front door.
You need shades.
I need some sort of shades. Or they have the electrolytic glass that with the flip of a switch, it becomes opaque.
Yes.
If that's that, then I'm fine with it. But
yeah,
basically, if the fucking salesman comes to my door, I want to be able to ignore it and not have to try to hide from him,
Oh, this is the staircase over here.
It's a big ass house. It probably is like au pair quarters or something.
Yeah. Oh, this shit goes up. Yeah, it's a whole ass big ass house, dude.
I'm assuming this is basically like an apartment or the au pair or something. Or live in somebody.
What is? This is a whole.
It's an apartment up there.
It really is.
Yeah. I bet you if you look at the description, it's separate living for your au pair or nanny or whatever else. The main floor offers the primary suite, a full guest suite, also suitable as an office with large living kitchen, dining and living room, seamless indoor-outdoor living from the main space, as well as the primary bedroom where pool
the second
access.
floor, right here. Second floor has a second living area with ample closet space and a balcony overlooking the backyard. All 4 bedrooms. Dude, What's Lutron?
So it's a light switch that you can get that it's like a smart light switch system. And then they also have like built-in dimmers and shit like that. So think of it, like Philips Hue, right? Or like Govia lights. Instead of having to get smart bulbs, you just get smart switches. Which Lutron's like the top of the top on that.
So
I've been looking into it.
We have another jump right here. There.
Yeah.
There. Boom. 350% more. That's nuts. But that just gives you an understanding of like hill country up there. It's beautiful, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
And that's starting to slowly make its way up here too.
Well, I mean, like if you look at, for example, my parents used to live over in Round Rock, my mom and my stepdad, and they moved here shortly before I did. They bought that house. It was a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house. Pretty good square footage up on a hill overlooking Round Rock. You could see Dell Diamond. It's a really nice house.
Beautiful.
$250.
Stop.
In 2014, give or take. They sold it for double that. And so they were able to pay off the remainder of their mortgage and buy the house in Ohio that they bought free and clear. No mortgage at all because of the explosion. So, yeah, just to give you an idea. And that's just like a normal neighborhood, right? That's not Westlake. It's just a normal neighborhood, subdivision built in the 90s. And it's a nice house. But like, it had some dated material, we'll say, so.
That hurts my soul. I fully admit that hurts my soul.
Yeah. And part of me is like, man, if I could have been in the position to be able to buy a house in my early 20s, which that's asking a lot, and I bought a house and then sold it, then equity would have just shot through the roof.
Yeah.
And I'd be living like a king.
That's one thing I would say, to kind of, for me to close my thoughts here. I had this recollection, but maybe even a couple weeks ago, and I thought to myself, if I had gotten a chance to buy property, the hell was that?
I think that's the stupid Copilot thing.
That's weird.
I don't know, but
if I got a chance to buy property, or at least be directed to be able to like grow in buying property in my early to mid 20s. Life would be so much simpler right now.
Yeah.
Because even if I were to stay in that property, like even my neighbors, as much as they want us to stay, one of them made a very valid point. He's like, I can't even afford to buy here right now if I were to buy here.
Yeah.
Prior to owning my house. He was like, it's like so expensive here. But if I had owned a property, house, land, whatever it may be, knowing how it's blown up since then.
Yeah.
Dude, king.
And that's part of my worry too, is just how crazy the property taxes have gotten. And that's part of the reason that my parents moved, because they're like, sure, we might own the house, but we won't be able to afford property taxes because, it's a mortgage payment every month by itself.
Yeah.
So, which is nuts. So,
yep.
Where even in Washington, even though the house is the price of the house, and the land and everything there is a little bit higher, it's still a reasonable property tax. It's not exactly a super booming market like Austin is. So,
Yeah, I think the house I'm buying, I want to say the property tax last I saw was sitting just north of $100 a month.
Yeah, which it's probably like the percentage on there, like Washington, I think it's depending on where you're at, it's like 0.7 or 0.8%. Of your overall value, which that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here you remember it said low at 1.7. And while that number sounds low, that's a lot.
That's a lot of money
in terms of property value.
Yeah. So. Well, so let's do this real quick. Where's our calculator? There it is. We saw one was like 4.7, 4.750 times. What was it?
1.7%.
1.7.
The percentage, or do 0.017. Yeah, now hit enter. That's a year. A year. Now, make it more realistic. Do a $500,000 house, which that's about what you'd expect around here at this point.
Yeah.
Times 0.017. So that's $900 a month, give or take. $700 a month. Still, $700 a month
For
just
taxes.
in property taxes. Yeah. So like on top of your $2,000 principal and interest payment,
And that's low.
and that's on the low side. Yeah, I think it's technically like 3 or 4%.
Yeah.
So,
Let's do that real quick. So we'll do 500,000 times 0.0. Let's say 0.035.
Yeah.
Divided by 12.
So,
$1,458 a month.
Yeah.
In property tax.
So while there's no state tax here, same thing in Washington for one, but the property taxes are just unaffordable.
Yeah.
Honestly.
In all, I would say Texas is a great state. Like if you ever consider, that's one thing I will say this too. For anybody out there, this is one thing I've heard from a lot of people before is like people are afraid to move.
Yeah.
Just do your research. Moving is a terrifying experience. 1,000%. Moving to Kansas City, terrifying.
Yeah.
Like you're moving halfway across the country. Like it is a terrifying experience. It's also a very exciting experience.
Yeah.
It's also very like eye-opening experience because you get to experience new cultures. You get to like kind of put to rest a lot of things you thought that weren't real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like me moving out here to Texas, I was worried. Like I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do it. And you learn very quickly. You're more resourceful than you think.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely recommend for anybody to definitely move. If you've been having that itch to do it, do it.
Yeah.
Life's way too fucking short. Don't stay put in the same place. Like go experience places.
Yeah. I've never really understood people that I get having like a hometown pride and everything and liking where you live.
I don't.
I mean, I don't understand it. I don't empathize. I sympathize. If that makes any sense, you know, like I don't know the actual feeling. I can understand why people would say it. Right. But so my point is, why would they live there their entire life? That was my foot, by the way. Why would they live in one place their entire life?
No, I agree.
You know?
I was going to say to your point though, I have a pretty jaded opinion on it because of how the reaction to me moving from people who had the same hometown pride was very, very toxic.
Yeah.
Like, and that wasn't everybody. Like I do have friends still back home who are like, check up on me and I check up on them. And like, we're all still super cool, even though I'm not there all the time.
Yeah.
But a large majority of my friend group had that hometown pride where it's like, why would you leave your hometown? This is home. This is where you grow up. This is where your kids grow up. You know, you're putting Houston here, dude. Like whatever. Like, no. I lost a lot of friends because they got mad that I was leaving. It's like, all right, well, if you get mad because I'm trying to better myself, I don't want to be around that anyways. Like that hometown pride, it's like a patriotism for your hometown. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what does it offer you? Like, are you comfortable in your 9 to 5 doing the exact same thing every single day, driving the exact same drive every single day, visiting the exact same restaurants every single week? Yeah. You know, like the same sights, smells, people, culture. Go out and explore. Mm-hmm. Like there's nothing wrong with going out and exploring. It's a great experience.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different episode in itself.
Yeah. Short story of that is you should move. Or at least travel, right?
Travel.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to move. Just get out there, experience new things.
Yep.
You'll very much learn the world is not the way it seems. So.
Yes. In conclusion, we're changing up. We're going different places.
Yep.
So that also means too, like you might see the way we're scheduling things, it should work, but things will change very rapidly. Probably mid-May for y'all.
Yeah, because we're batch recording a lot right now.
Yeah,
and so you'll see still this up until probably mid-May or so.
I would say the latest June.
Yeah. So we're trying to get enough of a backlog to give us time to do what we got to do and get all set up and get things ready for the next chapter of the Lousy Show.
Yeah. So thank y'all again for riding with us. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Join the Lousy listeners. If you want to join the Lousy membership, that's super awesome as well. Thank you so much for those who have. And wish us luck. There's going to be a lot of traveling here very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be
A lot of work.
Drive and a half for sure.
Yeah. So, but there's a button behind me. Click it to subscribe. There's a video behind me as well. YouTube recommends you watch it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.